Hey there, rail fans. Thanks for tuning in. This time it's going to be a book review. I picked this up at my local bookstore and we're going to take a look at it. Hey everybody, thanks again for tuning in to Poplarville O-Gauge Trains. This time I'm going to do a book review. I'm a big fan of literature as far as being able to, you can find out tons of stuff online and everything, but there's something about being able to sit down with a reference book that's going to teach you a lot. I went to one of my local used bookstores and I found this. Model Railroading, a Family Guide by Bruce Greenburg. This was published in 1979. It's an amazing, really good book. It has a lot of good details on how to fix stuff, how to make stuff. So we're going to take a closer look at it. So for those of you that don't know who Bruce Greenburg is, he's most famous for the Greenburg's Lionel Price train guide. He's written multiple books giving you information. He started out getting into trains on his 4th birthday when he got his very first set. Then he went on to college. I believe it was political science that he majored in, and after college he kind of got back into doing layouts again and went on to making this, his lifelong dream of trains. So we're going to take a look at the book. One of the things that I really liked is the fact that they talk about in the foreword how the railroad modeling is written for Lionel Marks, an American flyer operator who is either resuming or involved with trains or is just beginning to collect and operate them. It is intended to provide easy to understand, thorough information that will keep trains rolling and without derailments. This is one of the things that I like a lot. The book discusses planning the layout as well as building and operating one of the many trains. Train operations are discussed as a family activity. Bring your kids and your family into it. Numerous suggestions are made of sharing building projects. In the book, it explains about your different type of track that you would be using for different gauges. It has a little bit of history information, tells you about Lionel lines, shows you some older catalog information, and has you getting started with transformers, showing you how to test a locomotive. Shows you the inside of a transformer. In this case, it's I believe this was we'll go back here for a second. Yeah, it was a 1033, showing the inside, which is the basic thing. And it describes in detail on how all this stuff works. Shows you how, with some of the different lock-ons. Now you gotta remember, this is 1979, so obviously there's no fast track information in this, but it does show you some of your different lock-ons, basic tools that you're going to need, basic connections that you'll use now. So there's a nice section here that tells you a little bit about some of the history of the different trains, showing you some photos, some of the wind-up Marx toys that were available, some old Zephyr style trains. Then it has a nice section on setting up your actual tables, showing you the proper ways to do that. And many different layout designs, giving you a breakdown of the actual pieces of track that you'll need to use. There's a nice section that has color pictures of different train cars from the era and box cars. Another section shows you how to work on different accessories. And this one is a gateman house. It also shows you how to work on melt cars, some soldering tips. There's a ton of stuff that this book will tell you how to do. Now take in mind, because of the year it was published, this is really only going to cover post-war and MPC stuff. But scrolling through, it has so much information that it's useful to pretty much anybody that wants to, especially those of you that are finding that old set in the attic or in the basement and you want to start working on it. Here you see diagrams on how to fix your milk car. And the horse corral is also in here. Detailed information showing there's 022 switches, extremely detailed, all the part numbers, everything that you need. All right, everybody, so I hope you like what you saw. Like I say, online reference is great, but sometimes just sitting down with a book and reading it and going over it slowly is really cool because you get some neat illustrations, and especially in this case, a Greenburg book. He's like, people consider him like the top of the line guy that knows it all. So if you see that book somewhere, grab it. It's not going to be that expensive. All right, everybody. So that's another episode here at Poplarville Low Gauge Trains. You guys have a wonderful one, and always choo-choo.